And Kelman skies for the rebound. Kelman will give it to Jambalik, who can't connect. That pass coming from Cousin Exxon, and that'll leave Miller all alone as Brooklyn just didn't get back. And Michael F's going to have to talk it over as Lehman is off to the races. They've got a 10-4 lead, and you're watching live on CUNYathletics.tv. It's been a storm.
For 49 years, the CUNY Athletic Conference has hosted an All-Star Awards luncheon held at the Water Club in Manhattan. Sponsored by Con Edison, the event honors the league's award winners ahead of their community college and four-year college championship basketball tournament.
Being my last year, I haven't won a college championship yet, so this year I think it's going to be.
As you see the scenes from the beautiful Water Club, a lot of food there. And who's hungrier? Jambalik says that he's got an appetite. And he nets that home. It's a 10-6 game. Jambalik with 4 of the Brooklyn 6 points. Lorenzo Williams had the other tip in, and that's where we stand with 15:45 to go. Here's Jones. Holds the ball over his head like Simba, working on Jambalik. Turnaround. Floater is good. Jones, Brenz, Minot, Miller, and Greenfield on the court for Lehman. As Brooklyn can't get any closer, and that'll lead to Greenfield, the speedy guard. And the pass tips to Minot. Miller's wide open, kicks it out to Jones. The lefty 3, in and out, but skying for the rebound is Orlando Minot. Reverse layup, no. And here comes Williams. Williams, Kelman, Jambalik, Jambala, and Gist on the floor. Jambalik for 3. Nothing but net. Exxon Jambala, the 6'3 junior out of Franklin D. Roosevelt High School, had 9 points against John Jay and 7 rebounds. And head coach Steve Schulman of Lehman says that Jambala can beat you in so many ways, and that's the key guy that Lehman is going to focus against, because even when he's not scoring, he does so much on the offensive glass, and he does a lot with getting his teammates open. And somebody who was open was Jerome Jones. As that pass gets tipped, and it'll be Lehman basketball.
Checking in for Brooklyn is number 32, Elise Nickelman.
Kelman with the steal. Kelman will hand it off to Williams. He fumbles it. He'll give it back to Kelman in the right corner. Kelman will launch it, foot on the line, off the mark. Greenfield controls. Down low, here's Miller. Miller's floater, no good. Ball still tipped out. And boy, how ferocious is Lehman on the boards. Here's Williams. And the newly inserted Ines Nikovic fumbles that ball. Here's Jones for 3, good. Jones with 5. It's a 17-9 lead for the Lightning. And I can't even think of a pun right now. I can imagine how lightning quick Lehman has been. I'll stop. Here's Jambala, but he won't stop as he knocks down the tray. That's his second 3. He's got 6. It's a 5-point game. Back the other way, Miller. Both teams just exchanging buckets now. Miller's been hot. Ball still loose. Jones comes up with it. He throws the baseball pass. Green catches it, and he dunks it in with one hand. Greenfield with 4. Ball gets loose as Williams picks it up. Here's Williams. Straightaway 3, off the mark. Jones comes down with it. And Jones will settle his team down and he'll call back Brenz, who wants the ball, and Greenfield gives it to him. 21-12 is your score. Here's Jones for three. Good! What has gotten into Lehman to get off of this hot start? They're doubling Brooklyn right now from downtown and from uptown, wherever you want to call it. All the shots are falling for Lehman as Brooklyn's going to call a timeout here on CUNYathletics.tv.
Cheerleaders! Also give a great big round of applause to the Brooklyn College mascot. Let's hear it from, ladies and gentlemen.
Lehman starting this. Lehman starting this game off 50% from downtown, 40% from downtown. Brooklyn 50%. Of course, it's only one of two. Here's Kelman. He'll try to answer into that. That's off the mark. Lehman with a 12-point lead. Here's Brenz pushing into the front court. He'll push it over for three in the corner. Was Andrew Utate. He can't connect. Orlando Minot goes up for a second chance. No, but a foul.
Timeout number 33. Andrew Utate checked in for the Lightning.
I just didn't know if I was on. I'm sorry. So Miller will inbound from under the basket. So Miller, Jones, Utate, along with Minot and Brenz on the court for the Lightning. Inez Nikovic, Exxon Jambala, Jamel Gist, Lorenzo Williams, and Jai Kelman for the Bulldogs. Miller looks to throw it in. He goes to the corner to Utate. Now in the corner to Brenz. Back to Utate. High arcing three. In and out. Charles Miller comes down with the offensive rebound. Puts on the deck. Goes up. Good, and a foul. As he slams the floor. Check out the excitement on him. He's in the zone.
Foul charge to number 32. That's his first. Team's first.
Miller already with 10.
Nicholas Rosso checks in for Brooklyn. Miller will go to the line.
As Nick Rosso will check in. Couple of dribbles for Miller, the 6'4" junior out of Eleanor Roosevelt, and he misses the free throw. Here's Gist, turnaround shot, and boy, did Brooklyn need that. They're down 12. As Gist is able to get the roll high off the glass. He didn't call it, but he'll take the result. He's swinging around. Here's Miller to Brenz. No look pass. For three on the right wing was Jones. No, Miller again fighting for that offensive rebound. No, but a foul. Nikovic's going to pick up his second foul, the team's second. And Miller will go to the line to shoot two. Miller already with a huge first half. He's got 10 points. That'll stay there. Miller coming off a 14.8 rebound performance on Sunday afternoon, in which he played all 40 minutes, and that's happened 4 times this year for Miller. He played 46 in the first game of the season against Newman, as he goes 0 of 2 and 0 of 3 overall from the charity stripe. And Miller's been pretty clutch. First game against Newman this year. He played all 46 minutes. Lehman won that game in double overtime, but Miller hit a huge three at the end of the first overtime to at least get Lehman to the second overtime, and then Lehman prevailed. That foul will go to Jones. Jones is first, the team second. And Gist makes the first one. This is Gist's second year at Brooklyn College. He played 1 year at NYU Poly before coming over. Had 4 points against John Jay, only 1 of 5 from the floor. He'll go 2 of 2 at the line. So Brooklyn scratches back and they'll apply the press. Here's Greenfield. Greenfield looking to drive in. He'll kick it out to Tate. He fakes, pull up from a little closer, and he knocks it down. Here's Gist. He'll give it over to Diaz, who just checks in. Over to Grasso. Grasso up top to Diaz for 3, off the mark. Gist comes down with the offensive glass. He can't clean it up. Here's Greenfield, about a 10-footer off the mark. And Lehman's gone cold. They try to throw it into Jambalik, but Jambalik throws it off of the rim. And Lehman will control. Technically, it's a shot, but it looked more like a turnover on the errant pass. Here's Minot. He'll give it over to Green. They'll swing it around up top. Right side is Tate to Minot. Looks left. Feeds it inside. Jones didn't expect it, but he still picks it up. Turnaround shot. Good. How about that on a broken play? Jerome Jones was still able to knock it down. He's got 12. And here's Grasso, the brother of Jacqueline Grasso, and he lays it in. Lehman will slow it down, something that they really haven't done in the first half. Here's Minot over to the left side to Tate. Brooklyn in a zone. Minot looks right, goes left to Greenfield. Greenfield to the left wing to Tate. Up top to Miller, straightaway 3, off the mark. And Jambala comes down with the one-handed snatch. Here's Gist, fakes, goes inside, and gets the roll. Gist with 4. Brooklyn clawing back. It's a 10-point game. Minot over to the right side. Now back up top, and to the left side is Greenfield. Greenfield, couple of dribbles, slows it down. Greenfield looking towards the corner to Tate. Wide open 3, no good. And Lehman has since gone cold from downtown. Well, Murphy's Law says eventually he'll miss some. Not sure Murphy ever got to watch a basketball game. Good takeaway, Jambalik, and he's able to convert. And Lehman's going to have to call a timeout. Watching their lead that was once up to 12 dwindle to 8. 30-22 on CUNYathletics.com.
For 49 years, the CUNY Athletic Conference has hosted an All-Star Awards luncheon held at the Water Club in Manhattan. Sponsored by Con Edison, the event honors the league's award winners ahead of their community college and four-year college championship basketball tournament.
In my last year, I didn't win a college championship yet, so.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our Army ROTC roll call. Where are the lightning fans? And where are the Brooklyn fans?
Expecting to win player of the year. Look at least in terms of your career, what you accomplished this season. what are some of the things you think is a credit to having as great of a season as you had this year?
I really tried to get more leadership in my team. I really tried to push them along and just tried my best out there.
First of all, I want to thank my fellow coaches. This is
Lehman once up 8. Well, once up 12, now up 8. Lehman shooting 44% from the floor. Brooklyn has improved a little more. They're now shooting 37%, and they'll get the turnover.
Checking in for the Lightning is number 15, Edwin Diaz.
Edwin Diaz will check in for the Lightning. That's the 5th turnover for Lehman. Brooklyn has yet to turn it over. Here's Williams, scoop shot inside, and he gets the roll, and Brooklyn's fighting back. It's a 6-point game. Williams with 6. Here's Brent. He'll bounce it over to the left side to Diaz, up top to Brent. Brent to the right side to Greenfield. Thought about a 3. He can shoot it from down there. He'll give it to Diaz. Diaz curls the pass over to Brent, and he'll give it to Miller. Miller and Jones have been the high men for Lehman. Here's Miller, deep 3, too strong. And Grosso comes down with the rebound and had to fight off his center, Jambalik. Diaz slows it down. To the right side now is Williams. Williams to Jambalik, goes up with it, no, but a foul.
Lehman Lightning foul, charge number 44. Jerome Jones.
Foul's going to go to Jerome Jones. That's going to be his 2nd, the team's 3rd.
Jambalik will go to the line. 2 shots.
2 shots for Valone. 52% free throw shooter, and he'll miss the first.
Orlando Minot returns for the Lightning.
Orlando Minot will check back in for the Lightning. Valone, even though he was not the high man in terms of points against John Jay, still got 16 points and 10 boards for a double-double on Sunday afternoon, and he goes 1 of 2 at the line. He's now got 7, and it's a 5-point game. Here's Brent. Brent with 25, he'll give it to Miller. Miller over to Brent. Diaz, stop and pop, off the mark. And here comes Williams. Here's Williams. And we're going to get an offensive foul as Orlando Minot sold the call. Not sure that Williams really...
Foul charge number 12, Lorenzo Williams. That's his first.
Not sure that Lorenzo Williams really pushed him off. As he's telling official Sean Campbell, I didn't even touch him. Campbell says otherwise. So for Williams, that's going to be his first, the team's 3rd. Here's Greenfield to Brent. Over to Diaz into the corner. It's Greenfield with 6 minutes, and his team trailing by 5. Oh, they throw the backdoor pass to Greenfield, and you can't get easier than that as he's able to just lay it in. Greenfield now with 6. Lead is 7. Harry Hazan checks in for Brooklyn. That pass is tipped and will go out of bounds. Steven Diaz, Harry Hazan, Nicholas Grosso, Lorenzo Williams, and Valon Jambalik, the 2nd-teamers for the Bulldogs. Lehman rolls out Edwin Diaz, Orlando Minot, who almost gets the steal, Sean Miller, Jonathan Greenfield, and John Brent. Here's Williams, loses the handle, Grosso. Over to the left side to Hazan, deep 3. Nope, to the right. Grosso tips it up, still fighting with Greenfield. His bodies go flying. It'll be a fresh shot clock for Brooklyn, and they'll reset it. Here's Hazan, the redshirt freshman. Give it over to Grosso. Down low to Williams. Williams' turnaround is short, but it's cleaned up by Jambalik. Jambalik now with 9. Brooklyn has not led all evening, and the turnaround layup is good from Miller. And Brooklyn's going to have to talk it over. But Sean Miller, boy, he's been lighting it up. He's already got 12 points, misses 3 free throws. Otherwise, he would have had 15. But we'll keep it here. Brooklyn, obviously trailing by 14, trying to claw back. It's a 7-point game. And Brooklyn has 5 different players that have already scored. Lehman, their scoring comes in bunches with Sean Miller and Jerome Jones. Andrew Utate even got in the action. Jonathan Greenfield, no surprise there, and Orlando Minot. But head coach Steve Shulman of the Lightning says that his team has been really disciplined in years past, as opposed to years past. And one guy that has made the absolute biggest impact and the biggest change has been Jonathan Greenfield, who he said last year, and he said to me, for a lack of better term, just played dumb and immature. Totally did a 180, and a lot of that had to do with the summer classes that he took. He'd go to class and then go to the gym right afterwards. And a lot of time with summer classes, players only take about 3 credits, so they've got a lot of time. Hazan didn't have a lot of time on that turnaround layup, so he doesn't get fouled. The ball rolls out of bounds. And Jai Kelman will check back in for Brooklyn. He'll replace Diaz.
He replaces number 10, Steven Diaz.
So 15 to shoot. Kelman, Grasso, Hazan, Jambalik, and Lorenzo Williams on the court for the Bulldogs. Here's Kelman. Corner 3, can't stick it. Grasso tries to tip it in. Jambalik again, no, but a foul. Jambalik will go to the line.
John Burns, that's his first. Team's 4th. Jambalik will go to the line and shoot 2.
And the free throw is good for Jambalik. Came in today a 52% free throw shooter.
Returning for Brooklyn is number 23, Exxon Jambalik.
One more shot coming for Jambalik. That double-double against John Jay was his second in 5 games. Offensive rebound, Williams, he gets blocked. Jambala rolls it in. So that's a better result for Brooklyn. They've got 8. Olusegun Williams checks in for Lehman. And Williams can't connect. And we'll get a whistle and we'll get called for steps.
Traveling violation.
That last Lehman foul was called on John Brenz, his first and the team's 4th. Miller, Brenz, along with Minot, Greenfield, and Williams for the Lightning. Here's Brenz, carving the defense like a knife. Frees up Green, and he bangs it in. Jonathan Greenfield, that's his first 3. And he extends it back to a 7-point lead. Here's Hazan, straightaway 3, and it rattles in. And he says, let's go, as he's ready for the race. That's Hazan's first 3, only a 24% shooter. Up top is Brent, trying to slice inside, and he gets blocked from behind, but a foul. Nathan Hall comes in to make the call. And let's see who they call the foul on. It's going to go to Lorenzo Williams. That's going to be his second, the team's 4th.
John Brenz will go to the line, 2 shots.
Williams has committed the last 2 fouls for Brooklyn, and that'll bring Brenz to the line. And now Joe Mazzella speaking to head coach Rich Michaeleff. Not sure if Michael F. heard who the foul was on. It was announced that it was fouled on Williams. And if it is on Williams, that's going to be his second. They might reverse it. But for Michael F., he might have to sit down Williams. But it will indeed be on Williams. Brent's first free throw, nothing but nylon. And Jamel Gist and Steven Diaz will check back in for Brooklyn.
Jamel Gist and Steven Diaz return for Brooklyn.
Bren's had those 2 clutch free throws to win the game for Hunter, and he goes 2 of 2, and he stays hot. Gist yo-yoing into the front court, little shake and bake move, gives it over to Kelman, slows down his dribble, down low to the big man Jumbalik, and he gets the roll. Jumbalik with 12. Here's Miller. The Brooklyn bench wanted to walk, and they'll reset it out to Brenz with 25 to shoot. Here's Brenz. Slows it down. He gets double teamed. Goes over the right side to Miller. Now to Minot. To Miller. Trying to drive in. Carve inside. He gets blocked. Williams' second chance shot. Nope. And here comes Brooklyn to make it a one-possession game, something that they haven't had all game. They bounce down low to Williams. No, but a foul. And with one made free throw, it'll be a one-possession game.
Lightning foul, charge number 35, Olo Williams, that's his first.
So that foul's going to go to Olo Williams, his first, the team's fifth.
Lorenzo Williams will go to the line.
Williams, the 6'4 junior from Brooklyn, New York, went to South Shore High School. And he makes the first one. Part of the All-CUNY first team that was honored last week at the Water Club. Astrid Kransnicki checks back in for Lehman. Exxon Jambala back in for the Bulldogs. He's a 64% free throw shooter, and it shows there as he goes 1 of 2, but he's able to tip back out his own free throw miss. He was 3 of 3 up until that point. Jambala goes in. Yes, and the foul. He gets the blocking call. And Jambala with a chance to tie. Lehman, once leading by 14, is watching their lead hang in the threads.
2-6. Jambala will go to the line. 1 shot.
Jambala to shoot 1. He misses that. Players go fighting for it. And that foul's going to go to Jai Kelman. And for Kelman, that's going to be his first, the team's 5th.
Foul charge number 1, Jai Kelman, that's his first. Team's 5th.
Here's Greenfield. Greenfield pull up from the near side. Good.
Jonathan Greenfield.
Greenfield with 11. It's back to a 3-point game. Astrid Kransnicki was called for that last foul. So Lehman now at the limit. Kelman gets stripped. It stays with Gist. Finds Jumbalik down low. Turn around, and boy, they can't stop him down low. He's been a huge presence. Back the other way, no, but a foul, and Brenz will go to the line. That foul should be on Gist.
Foul charge to number 4, Valen Jumbalik.
Nope, it's going to go to Valen Jumbalik. That's going to be his first, and they're at the limit. So both teams at the limit. And Brenz makes the first one. Second free throw coming, and he's 2 of 2. Bren's only with 3 points. They've all come at the charity stripe. And it's back to a 3-point lead. Just when you think Brooklyn's at the top of the mountain, They still got another hill to climb. Lorenzo Williams can't connect, and Lehman will have the ball. They'll throw it over to Minot with a minute to go. Misses on the three, tip in, no, and here come the Bulldogs. It's Gish driving inside, layup, no! Just swirls out, and the roof was ready to come down on that one. That's going to go to Minot, his second, team seventh. So Brooklyn will shoot free throws the rest of the way.
Just will go to the line and shoot two.
Pretty well officiated game thus far. Calls even, pretty much even. 7 for Lehman, 6 for Brooklyn. Gets first free throw. Almost goes in. It hits off the back iron and then off the top of the glass. I guess as the New York City kids would call treetops, but it doesn't roll in. Nicholas Grasso checks back in. So Gist is 2 of 5. About a 10.8 differential between the game and shot clock. So Lehman could do a 2 for 1. Here's Gist. And he makes that one. Two-point game, 43-41. Up top is Brenz. Brenz trying to carve the defense. Gives it over to Greenfield for 3. Good. That's his second 3. He's got 14. Brooklyn will hope for the last shot. Very important to make it a one-possession game going into the break. Gist eyes the defense. He locks those eyes with Brenz. Goes in on Brenz, and we'll get an offensive foul. Brenz set his feet, and he'll give Lehman another chance to extend the lead.
Brooklyn foul charge number 15, Jamal Gist. His first.
That's Gist's first, team 7th. They'll throw it into Brent, who's got to go the length of the floor with 3 seconds. With 2, he kicks it right to Miller as it hits off his knee at the buzzer, and that's your score at the half. 48-41 in favor of the Lightning, who have come out on firing on all cylinders as we get ready for second half action. That's your score. Lehman leads 48-41 on your home for the CUNY semifinals. The city's game turns 50 this year. CUNYathletics.com.
For 49 years, the CUNY Athletic Conference has hosted an All-Star Awards luncheon held at the Water Club in Manhattan. Sponsored by Con Edison, the event honors the league's award winners ahead of their community college and four-year college championship basketball tournament.
Being my last year, I haven't won a college championship yet, so this year I think it's going to be the year we're going to try to do it. It's only one team really standing in our way, and they beat us twice already, but you know it's hard to beat a team 3 times, so hopefully in the championship we'll knock them out.
Melanie, so did you go into today expecting to win Player of the Year? I mean, how about from an individual sense first, what that means to you in terms of your career, what you accomplished this season?
It means a lot. I mean, I worked really hard this year with my team. It really could have gone to anyone, really.
What are some of the things that you think you credit to having as great of a season as you've had this season?
I really tried to get more leadership in my team. I really tried to push them along and just try my best out there.
First of all, I want to thank my fellow coaches. This is a wonderful honor, and thank all of you. I really, really appreciate this. You don't go in thinking about this when any of these people who might have gotten it, they all deserve it. We all know what we go through as coaches. It's not just about what you see at games, it's the practices, it's behind the scenes. But we all go through, worried about the kids academically, worried about their personal lives and things. But in a nutshell, though, yeah, it's a great, great experience. I'm on cloud 9 right now because I really walked in here today not expecting this. So it's a wonderful thing.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
In what is becoming a formality for the Baruch Bearcats, the school from Midtown is looking for its 7th consecutive title against the Hunter Hawks in the 2013-2014 CUNY Women's Basketball Championships. The Bearcats and Hawks both traded baskets for rebounds and blocks, getting off to a slow start on the offensive end as Baruch led by 3 at the half. The second half was all Baruch as Francis Henry knocked down a couple of big threes to start the rout and give Baruch a 20-point lead. Henry was later named MVP with a team-high 15 points and helped Baruch to its 7th consecutive CUNY championship.
The season's been rough, we faced a bunch of adversity, but I knew this game I had to show up, so I had to build my confidence, and it took me there.
It's a great run. I feel blessed. I'm a humble guy, man, believe me, but when the money's on the line, I try to pick it up with some intensity. And I'm excited for the team and the players. We worked hard for this.
Confidence is the key to success, so we just stayed confident. We didn't put our head down, and we just listened to the game plan and carried it out.
This win puts the Bearcats in the NCAA tournament. From CCNY, John Perez, CUNY Athletics. The word dynasty is sometimes used too often in the sports world, but for the College of Staten Island, a win tonight will cap a three-peat for the Dolphins. However, that will be a tall task as they take on the Cardinals of York College. York got out to a fast start and took a 22-5 lead. The Cardinals were in rhythm and firing on all cylinders as Michael Woods and Omar St. John paced York College to an 18-point advantage. The Dolphins showed why they were the number 18 team in the nation and would fight back to get within 4 at the half. The second half was all nip and tuck as both teams would see lead changes for most of the final period. In the last minute of play, Frankie Schettino put the Dolphins in front with his bucket, but CUNYAC MVP Michael Woods would have an answer for that as he knocked down 2 of his 36 points with the go-ahead jumper. Schettino had the ball in the final ticks, but Michael Woods picked his pocket and gave the Cardinals the CUNYAC championship.
With the team we had, if we could make adjustments as we go forward, we would get to the championship. And my goal is always, like I tell them, I don't figure out, let's not talk about winning the championship. Let's talk about getting there, because if you don't get there, you can't win it. So my goal is always, let's get there. Once we get there, I'll figure out how to win it.
The last play when I actually hit free throws. In my head, I knew if I nailed these 2 free throws and we pressed them, it would be so hard for them to get a half-court three-pointer. I mean, with the 3 free throws, all they could do was tie the game. They still couldn't hurt us, so I just tried all my might to make those 2 free throws.
This title marks the Cardinals' first conference championship since 2007. From CCNY, John Perez, CUNY Athletics.
I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and I go to school in Manhattan. I play for the John Jay College women's basketball team, and I love my teammates. My coach is always telling me, Spud, you have to communicate more, you have to speak more, be more vocal, and be a leader. Because I'm usually shy about a lot of things. I'm not that vocal, but I'm stepping into that role. During this basketball season, I became the first person in John Jay history to achieve the milestone of having both 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. Stepping in John Jay, this was never one of my goals or aspirations. I just wanted to win, but to be able to accomplish this at the same time was beyond me. It was just great. The best part about being a student athlete in New York is the commuting. There's so many interesting people and stories on my way. And even though the buses and trains are always crammed, I love it. That's New York. Being a Division III athlete has been great for me because I haven't felt like I had to leave my family behind just to compete at a high level. After I graduate from John Jay, I'd like to go to medical school and become a psychiatrist and eventually one day open a recreational psychiatric center to help young kids and adolescents. I don't feel like everything needs to be solved with medicine. I feel like basketball can help me to help them. My name is Jamesia Forsythe, and this is my D3 experience.
is short. Again, York College, no timeouts left. 4 seconds on the clock, a 1-point lead for CSI.
Miss it.
Second free throw, no good. And the clock quickly picks up. Here comes Simpson. He rushes it down the court. The long desperation. It's good! What a shot by Teron Simpson. What a shot. Are you kidding me? The York College Cardinals have done the impossible, and I do mean the impossible.
My name is Ronald St. John. I'm the athletic director and head men's basketball coach here at York College. In addition to overseeing the entire program, I also act as the director of facilities and operations. I'm involved with York College for years. I was a student here from 75 to 1980, so I've been here at the college for approximately 38 years. My passion, my number one passion, is to make sure our student athletes have the best experience, best athletic experience, or the best college experience they could have. And I think that's what it's about. And if you lose sight of that, then your program, your school is going to be in trouble. It starts from the beginning. I meet students. I always tell them when they're considering York, I need to see you, and I need to see you with your parent. And if you want me to bring my parent? Yes. It's one of the biggest decisions you're going to make in life is what school you're going to go to. Other than marriage, buying a house, and having kids, I don't think there's anything bigger than that you're going to do. So people who are probably going to assist you with getting through these 4 or 5 years, why should they not be there?
Had the ball in the final ticks, but Michael Woods picked his pocket and gave the Cardinals the CUNY championship.
With the team we had, if we could make adjustments as we go forward, we would get to the championship. And my goal is always, like I tell them, I don't figure out, let's not talk about winning the championship. Let's talk about getting there, because if you don't get there, you can't win it. So my goal is always, let's get there. Once we get there, I'll figure out how to win it. CSI and York have great respect for one another. I know for a fact that Tony didn't think that was an easy game. He knew his team had to play to win, just like I knew my team had to play to win. We've been winning games like crazy because we could score. We could put the ball in the hoop. We could score. We were losing games because our defense wasn't where it should be. I said, if you come in this game and you step up on your defense, and we had been working on it, we had gotten better on it, we would win that game. So they did something wonderful for me too. After 6 appearances in the NCAA, I had never gotten past the first round. So this was a milestone for me by getting past the first round to the second round in NCAA. I refuse to use wins and losses to determine how successful your program is. To me, at the Division III level, because everybody's into it for the love of it, because we're not making enough to do it, I believe if you improve your program, you're going to improve your wins and losses. I can't see a student athlete coming to York, being on the team for 4 years, and have no success at all. That's just not fair to that student athlete. As much as I want to win everything, but my goal is to see your child graduate, to see you, parent, mother, father, grandmother, at the end of 4 years, have tears in your eyes, walk up on that stage to receive it. No more joy than that until you get to the next step in your life, and you need this to begin it.
The 2015 CUNY Men's Community College Championship featured the Bronx Broncos and the number 4 team in the nation, the BMCC Panthers. BMCC got out to a fast start and took a 17-point lead, but the Broncos made a run and cut the deficit to 4 at the half. After the break, Bronx climbed all the way back to take a 1-point lead on a 3 by Johan Almonte. But the Panthers showed why they were the top team in Region 15 and 4th in the nation and stormed back to overtake and seal it with a championship, a 91-83 win.
Just really happy for the guys. They really worked hard. They bought in. They played their roles, and they stayed together as a team. Really happy for them. We got 3 left now. We got to go to the regionals. But the CUNY was our goal from day one, so couldn't be happier about it.
Joseph Oho was named the tournament MVP as the team's leading scorer throughout the tournament.
It means a lot. I've been here for 2 years. I had to step it up every single time, every year. it's not really just me leading, it's my whole team leading. Like, we decide on everything as a team, so it's just one team.
This is the first championship for the Panthers since the 2007 season. Okay. From BMCC, John Perez. It's a 7-point Lehman lead at the half over Brooklyn in Game 2 of the men's semifinals, and the man sitting to my left is David Halberstam. And David, how about the ebbs and flows of this game? Just when you thought Lehman would take a huge lead, Brooklyn fights right back.
I saw that coming, frankly. At this level, what will happen when you start to run down the floor is you just know there will be turnovers. You know that if they're going to rely on an outside shot, you live by the three, you die by the three. So I'm not surprised at all. That first game went right down to the wire, and that was wonderful. It was competitive. These kids play in the true spirit of amateur athletics, so it's so nice to see. And I'll bet the second half is going to be a dandy as well.
Now, how about the evolution of the CUNY Athletic Conference? Obviously streaming games now, the branding is all over the map, but even the character of the kids that play, because let's be honest, they're not going to the NBA, but they do love the game of basketball and even the other sports too, and they still play every game as if it's Game 7.
No question, although I will tell you, having been around the D1, D2, D3 level, plus the NBA, I can tell you that coaches will tell you that seniors are the most difficult year to coach because, to your point, when you're a senior at this level, you're not going to the NBA. So your mind's already thinking about where you're going to get a job, getting your final grades, getting your degree. Where am I going to look? So at this level, the best year you get from your players, your junior year. So it's interesting to see. You know, the 4 teams that are playing tonight, when I was involved with this league starting in the 1970s, they all had different nicknames. They were the Baruch Statesmen, the Lehman Lancers, the York Nomads because they didn't have a home, and the Brooklyn College Kingsmen. So things do change.
If I were to tell you 30, even 40 years ago, I mean, can you believe we're already in the teens of the 2000s? It goes by just like that. But nonetheless, that the CUNY Athletic Conference would be where it is today, what would you have told me?
Well, I'm delighted to see its continued growth. I was there when the CUNY Conference started, sort of part of that early evolution. And it was a lot of fun to see this thing grow.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for the time.
My pleasure.
All right, as Lehman gets ready to go, going from left to right, as a shot gets swatted, it's Orlando Minot with the Euro step. Nice athletic rebound for Lorenzo Williams. Thanks again. Appreciate it. I'll throw it down low to Jambalik. I'm going to switch because I can't hear myself. Is that okay? I'm on 2, yeah. You know what? I'll be on 2. You can come on. You want to come on? Yeah. Jai Kelman the other way. He can't get the roll. And it's still 48-41. Well, Brooklyn, the men looking to join the women in the finals. And the man sitting to my left is Alex Lang, the Brooklyn head coach. And Alex, we talked about the comparisons to that 2012 team as Orlando Minot gets a scoring going for Lehman. He's got 4, and it's a 50-41 lead. But how do the two teams complement each other?
We're talking about the women or the men now?
The men.
Okay.
I'm talking that 2012-13 team that lost in the finals to Baruch, and you'll get another shot at Baruch.
We are.
Lorenzo Williams.
I'm still missing your question, John. You're asking about the women?
We're talking about the women.
Okay.
And you were the coach in 2012,
Of course,
2013 when you guys lost in the final to Baruch. You're back there.
Yeah.
How do these teams stack up against it? You know, are there similarities to that group? Do you see that winner's desire in this
John.
group?
Yeah, no, there are a lot of similarities, and there are a lot of our players from this year's team played on that 2012-2013 team. So, you know, I think we're battle tested. We've been to the championship game before. You know, Nicole Francomano was our starting point guard on that team. You know, she's a tough player who just gives it her all nonstop energy for 40 minutes. Asia Foster and Sarah Shanderson, as well as Jacqueline Grasso, were reserves on that team. And Vanessa D'Ambrosi was a starter on that team as well. Vanessa, you know, obviously tore ACL last year and is back this year for her senior year. So we had Nicole and Vanessa were two of our key players. I think our style's a little bit different this year. You know, we don't count on pressure defense quite as much as we did back that season. We're a little bit better on the interior offensively. And I see there's an injury here on the Lehman side.
Yeah, it's a tough thing to see. All right, Alex, I'm going to tell you something that might surprise you. Baruch's a very good team. They are a very good team, obviously winning 7 in a row, looking for 8 in a row, 9 overall. What do you tell your girls when, let's be honest, it can, from the outside, it looks as a David versus Goliath, but at least from the inside, I'm sure you're telling your girls, hey, we deserve it just as much as they do.
I mean, I don't think it's quite David versus Goliath. You know, we've won 20 games this year. We've beaten some really good teams. You know, we're ranked number 7 in the region. You know, I don't think it's as though we're like a number 8 seed or something trying to sneak up and knock off the 1 seed. With that being said, they obviously are a very good team, and they, you know, they pose a lot of problems matchup-wise. They have a lot of length on their team. You know, they're very well disciplined, and they have a lot of senior play. So we're definitely going to get a great effort to win the game. But I mean, you know, throughout this run we've had with our senior class this year, you know, we've beaten them before, so we know what it takes to beat them. You know, obviously it's a little bit different on the big stage in the championship game. We haven't quite gotten over that hill, but we're looking to do that on Friday.
And I'll ask you, last question, how about the job that Rich has done with the men's team this year, turning them around, and they're about 17-40. They'll still have to take the lead, but they're still 17-40 away from joining you guys.
Yeah, they're an excellent team. Rich has done a great job. I mean, he took over a veteran team for the most part, but a team that, you know, was lacking a little bit of structure and a little bit of just that confidence they needed to get to the next level. And I think that he's helped them with both of those issues. And they're playing great. They're playing great basketball. They've got a tremendously talented roster. You know, their starting 5 is probably as talented as you can imagine, you know, at this level. They're explosive. All of those guys can go for 20 points on any given night. You know, I wouldn't mind having a unit like that myself. You know, not that we don't have a great team ourselves, but they definitely have tremendous individual talent.
Well, you can check Alex Lang's, his self-described great team, and if you haven't seen them, they are quite a great team as Jamel Guest knocks down that 3. Alex, all the luck on Friday. Good luck. Game 6 o'clock on ESPN3. Check it out, Brooklyn and Baruch.
Thank you very much, John.
Always a pleasure. As Jamel Gist fires from the 3. Gist to Williams. Feeds it to Jai Kelman, but we'll get an offensive foul. Orlando Minot came in, and he draws the charge. As Lorenzo Williams pleading with Sean Campbell, he was in the restricted area.
Returning for the Lightning is number 32, Greenfield.
Jonathan Greenfield will come in after getting shooken up before. But for Williams, that's going to be his 3rd foul, and that's going to be the team's 1st of the half. Here's Bren's top of the key, guarded by Jess, gives it over to Miller. As Miller elbows Jambala right in the nose. Jeez, that's a wake-up call. Brooklyn gets the steal as Jambala still a little woozy on his own end. And Michael F. is going to call a timeout as he's pleading with Nathan Hall. Take a look at my guy. He got his clock cleaned. Jambala is wincing a little bit right to the right of your screen. Now at the center of your screen, there's Gist. And he's holding his forehead area, so no blood that is visible from the naked eye. But he'll walk it off as Michael F. speaks to Sean Campbell, asking for some sort of offensive foul. Didn't look violent, just Miller trying to avoid some separation, or try to gain some separation, as John Bilal gets looked at by head CUNY trainer. Michael F. wants him to come off, and there might be some blood. That might be the reason why he has to come off, so he might come back at the next dead ball, and he'll get looked at. So he might have some blood coming out from his nose. We'll also get the trainer to check to see if there's a possible concussion. Of course, player safety is obviously the first thing on the mind, but John Bilal, he's so focused on the game, you can tell he's gearing to get back into it as he sits on the bench. But nonetheless, Steven Diaz comes in for him. Here's Lorenzo Williams. He's guarded by Miller. And we get an elbow foul, which should be on Miller. He was the only one guarding Williams. But it'll be a non-shooting foul, but nonetheless, Tron will draw his first of the game and the first of the half. They throw it into Williams, up top to Kelman. 30 to shoot. Kelman looking for some separation. Nifty move, but he can't finish. And Lehman turns it over. They threw the home run pass, but struck out on that. And here's Diaz. Top of the key three. Rattles in and out. Jumbolic fighting hard for the offensive rebound. Ball rolling towards the Brooklyn bench. It'll be Lightning basketball. On the court for the Lightning, Jerome Jones, Orlando Minot, Jonathan Greenfield, John Brenz, and Sean Miller. On the court for Brooklyn, Jamel Gish, Jai Kelman, along with Exxon Jambala, who just checks in, Valan Jumbolic, and Lorenzo Williams. Brenz will bounce it over to the left side to Miller, to Greenfield. Greenfield will push it over to the right wing. A 2-point game, 50-48 in favor of Lehman. Brenz loses it. Now it leads to Miller down low, and he blows the reverse layup. Kelman looking ahead. Kelman darting into the front court. Gets his pocket pick, but picking up the loose change is Jambala. Here's Williams now on the right wing. Picks up his dribble, gives it to Jambala, feeds it to his cousin down low. Turnaround lefty, no. And Greenfield comes down with it. Thought he had to save it, but there was no Brooklyn player in the vicinity. But nonetheless, he doesn't turn it over. And Brenz almost did, as that ball almost goes into the backcourt before Jones was able to save it. And now Brenz will control top of the key. He'll give it to Jones, 15 to shoot. Here's Brenz, 10 to shoot. Over to Greenfield, 8 to shoot. He's guarded by Kelman, scanning the defense, trying to slice inside, floating shot, and it gets the roll. Greenfield now with 18 points with 14:05 to go in the second half. Lorenzo Williams powers in as he stares at official Joe Mazzella asking for the foul. It's a 2-point game. And we're going to get a timeout called by Brooklyn. Both teams with 4 timeouts left and 13:50 to go. You've been watching Game 2 of the semifinal actions. 2 thrillers here and a pretty close game between the Brooklyn Bulldogs and the Lehman Lightning on CUNYathletics.tv.
For 49 years, the CUNY Athletic Conference has hosted an All-Star Awards luncheon held at the Water Club in Manhattan. Sponsored by Con Edison, the event honors the Awards winners ahead of the community college and college
T-shirts now available while supplies last.
Orlando Minot to throw it into John Brenz. He's joined by Jonathan Greenfield, Jerome Jones, and Sean Miller. Here's Miller straight away for three. High arcing shot, and it doesn't fall. On the court for Brooklyn, Inez Nikovic, Exxon Jambala, who receives the ball in the right corner. Jamel Gist, Lorenzo William, who operates. Hop step inside, tough layup, good. Williams now with 13. Jai Kelman was the other Bulldog not mentioned, and that'll round out the lineup for Brooklyn, and we'll get a foul. That foul's going to go on Gist, who holds his hand right up in the air and says, "Yep, that foul's on me." That'll be the second foul for Gist, the second for the team. And Brenz will inbound from in front of his own bench. First tie of the game. Brooklyn has not led all game. Here's Jones inside, turnaround floating shot off the mark, and Jambala rips down the rebound. He'll give it over to Williams. Here's Williams looking to penetrate inside, layup good, and Brooklyn has its first lead of the evening. Williams with 15, it's a 54-52 Brooklyn lead. Here comes Greenfield. And there's going to be a foul on the floor, and Kelman puts his hand up. So for Kelman, the participant on that foul, it's going to be his second, the team's third. And once again, Brenz to inbound. He'll throw it into Miller, straight away, carving inside, shot, no, because he travels. That's only the fourth turnover for Lehman. A team that only turns the ball over 15 times a game. A very smooth game that has been a game of runs, ebbs and flows, whatever you want to call it. A very clean game on both sides by both participants. Now just a matter of who wants it more. Kelman with his foot on the line. Jambala cleans it up, and the foul! And that's going to go to Greenfield. That's going to be his first, the team's second. Exxon with 14, make it 15. 5-point Brooklyn lead. These two teams split the regular season meetings, both teams holding court on their home floor. Here's Jones taking on two Brooklyn defenders. He won't win that battle. Ball still loose. Jones down low to Miller. Kicks it back out to Greenfield, but it's intercepted by Kelman. He looks up court as he yo-yos into the front court and darts a pass to Jambala. Right wing three, off the mark. Boy, Brooklyn was ready to explode if that three would have fallen. Here's Kelman. Thought about it to Jambala, and Michael F. tells him to slow it down. The sounds speak for themselves. Here's Jambala. He'll give it to Kelman. Kelman driving inside, floating shot, good! Jai Kelman joins the scoring party, and Lehman's got to call a timeout as Brooklyn extends it to a 7-point lead, and the women who are standing right behind the booth are pretty excited as well. They want to see the men's team play with them on Friday night in their own matchup against Baruch. Lehman will call a timeout with 11:22 to go. You've been watching on CUNYathletics.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, here they are, your Brooklyn College cheerleaders.
11:22 to go with Sean Miller, John Brenz, Orlando Minot, Jonathan Greenfield, who tucks himself into that corner on the far side, and Jerome Jones on the floor for the Lehman Lightning, Jamel Gist, Exxon Jambala, Inez Nikovic, Lorenzo Williams, and Jai Kelman. Here's Jones trying to feed it down low to Greenfield. Collects the pass, and now he circles it around. Greenfield's shot goes up, but a foul. As Kelman and Jambala look at the official, and I don't think they planned it, but they both said, what happened? But nonetheless, it's going to go to Jambala. That's going to be his second, the team's fourth. Greenfield, a couple of dribbles. Steve Schulman says that this has been the man that has turned around not only his game, but his life as well. He makes the first free throw. Andrew Ute checks in. Jonathan Greenfield attended Reading Area Community College between 2009 and 2011, then went to Monroe before joining Lehman at the semester break last season. Technically a senior from Hartford, Connecticut. Here's Williams inside. Oh, man, how about that? Lorenzo Williams. It's his world, and we're all just living in it. He's got 10 in the second half, 17 overall. And Brooklyn extends its lead. Lehman needs a spark. Here's Jones, turnaround jumper, can't get the swirl, and nothing's working for John Jay now. They'll need a stop. Here's Gist. Excuse me, I meant Lehman. Here's Williams. He gets to Freudian slip, but there's no slip there. Lorenzo Williams. He's feeling it. He's got 20. Here comes Greenfield inside. And we're going to get an offensive foul. The whole place went silent, then looked at Nathan Hall, who showed confirmation. And that foul's going to go to Jonathan Greenfield, his second, and the team's third. I apologize to my listeners. I'm normally at the John Jay games, but nonetheless, very locked into this thriller between Brooklyn, who's come all the way back to extend to an 11-point lead, thanks to Lorenzo Williams. 13 points in the second half. Lehman gets the stop. Let's see if they can get the roll. Here's Minot driving in on Nikovic. Kicks it out Greenfield. Three, they needed that. Boy, did they need that. And just the man to give it to him. Greenfield with 22. A huge defense chant reigns from the crowd on the Lehman side of the court. Gist will give it to Jambala, loses the handle, but it's scooped up by Williams, who's been cool, calm, and collected, but he almost turns it over, and it'll stay with Brooklyn with 15 to shoot. John Brenz will check in for Lehman. And with 8:57, we're going to get a timeout. A full timeout given to Brooklyn College. They've only got 3 timeouts left, and we'll step aside with 8:57 to go here from CCNY, the semifinals. Who wants it more, Brooklyn or Lehman? Coming back right after this. 8:57 to go here in the second half. Kelman will throw it in. Kelman, Nikovic, Lorenzo Williams, Jamel Gist, and Exxon Jambala for the Bulldogs. We'll get you the Lightning when they go on offense. And the right wing is Williams, gives it to Jambala, and he goes to the other side to Gist. He's got to jack it up at the buzzer. It hits nothing. It'll be a shot clock violation. On the court for Lehman, Orlando Minot, Sean Miller, Jonathan Greenfield, and Andrew Utate. Bren shoulders the ball into the front court with his team down 8. We'll give it over to Miller. Miller with a couple of dribbles. Gives it to Utate. Now over to Miller. Right elbow jumper, in and out. And Jambala comes down with it. And Lehman has gone ice cold. Here's Gist driving in, layup short. Ball tipped around, rolls out of bounds. And it'll be Lehman basketball. Jerome Jones will check in for Lehman. Lehman will roll it in with 8:08 on the clock. It's scooped up by Brenz, and he marches into the front court from left to right. Jones in the post, gives it to Minot, loses the handle. And we're going to get a whistle. We'll see who it's on. Believe it's going to be on Williams. Yep. And that's going to be his fourth. It's going to be his third, the team's 5th. Brooklyn gets the steal. Here's Jambala. Tried to feed it to Kelman. Tried to be saved by Miller, but it goes to the hands of Nikovic. And Jones is going to get called for a foul. That's going to be his third. That's going to be the team's 4th. So Jai Kelman, Lorenzo Williams, Inez Nikovic, Exxon Jambala, and Jamel Gist. 7 minutes and 41 seconds away from a date with Baruch. Here's Jambala, and he can't wait. Jambala with 17. And Lehman has gone away from shooting the threes. Here's Miller. Let's see if he can create something. That's short. Gish trying to go the other way. Coast to coast, too strong. Nikovic. And Lehman might have numbers, but Jerome Jones throws it away. He had a receiver right down the field and just missed his target. Under 7 minutes to go. Here's Jambala. He's guarded by Miller. Fakes right, couple of dribbles, gives it to Kelman. Kelman driving inside. Nikovic lays it in. Nikovic finally on the board. And it's a 12-point lead. Jones off the mark again. Here's Williams. Williams, stop and pop. Nope. Here comes Greenfield. Greenfield thought about giving it to Brenz. He goes up, gets blocked, and Gist comes down with it. Kelman was calling for it. Jambala, they throw the lob, and Jambala lays it in. And we'll get a timeout. Brooklyn's feeling it. They've extended to a 14-point lead with 6:07 to go here on CUNYathletics.tv.
6:07 remaining in regulation time. Timeout. Lehman.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play. .6:07 to go. Brooklyn, who once trailed by 14, now reverses it and leads by 14. 70-56. Brenz didn't pick it up on the first attempt, but he does the second. He'll give it over to Jones. Back to Brenz, 22 to shoot. Brenz to Miller. Miller driving inside, high shot off the glass, and Jones will put it back. Boy, did Lehman need that. Jones, who has scored 12 points in the first half, is finally on the board. Here's Jambala. This is the man you've got to stop if you're Lehman. This is another man you've got to stop, Lorenzo Williams. He's guarded by Minot. Tall task for Minot. He's staying with them. Turn around. Lorenzo Williams gets blocked from behind. Ball rolls out of bounds, and it'll be Lehman basketball. Lehman shooting 3 of 18 in the second half. Only a 16% mark, whereas Brooklyn, virtually everything's falling, 13 of 27. Here's Greenfield going inside, taking on 4 defenders, and he won't win that battle. Here's Jambala. Give it over to Gist. Gist gets the ball poked at, and Kelman will slow it down. Here's Williams, top of the key, guarded by Miller. Pull up Jay, yes sir.
Lorenzo Williams.
Williams with 22, and we'll get a foul the other way. So that's going to go to Nikovic. That's going to be his third, and Nikovic has been getting a lot of playing time thus far. Nikovic didn't play the last time these two teams played against each other, as Sean Miller misses the first one. Miller is another player that's been held scoreless in the second half. You look at the first half numbers for Lehman. Jonathan Greenfield with 16. He now has 6 in the second half, and Miller finally gets on the board. But Miller in that first half had 12 points. He's now got 13 overall. Jerome Jones had 12 points in that first half. He's only been held to 2 points in the second half. So they've locked down on the Lehman Lightning shooters. So let's be honest, with all of that storm in the first half, Brooklyn's finally seeing the rainbow. Here's Gish driving inside, floating shot, and we'll get a charge. Astrid Kransniki, who just checks it, draws it. And Gish is a little shaken up. And Valon Jambalik was pointing to Gist's shoulder. As Exxon Jambala decided to help him up. It's that right shoulder. And when Jambala went to help him up, he asked him if he needed a hand, but Gist didn't want to lift that right arm. That'll be the 7th team foul for Lehman. For Brooklyn, excuse me. Brenz will pick it up. 3:55 to go. If Lehman wants to make it an all-blue party on Friday, they're going to have to get some buckets, and that'll start it with John Brenz. Brenz with 5. Throws the home run pass to Jambalik, tries to fire it to Williams. And not sure if that ball was tipped. Nathan Hall's going to come in, and he's going to say that it was tipped by Sean Miller. So it will be Brooklyn basketball with 3:33 to go. So Harry Hazan, Exxon Jambala, Valon Jambalik, Lorenzo Williams, and Jai Kelman on the court for Brooklyn. For Lehman, they'll roll out Jonathan Greenfield, Sean Miller, Orlando Minot, John Brenz, and Jerome Jones. It's Jambalik on Jones, pumps and goes up and under. Jambalik, who had 15 in the first half, finally gets on the board for the second half. He's got 17 overall, and it's a 13-point lead with 3:10. Here's Miller. Gets cut off. Tenacious D by Hazan. And Sean Miller's going to have to call a timeout. And that should be the last timeout. We'll wait for the official confirmation on the scoreboard. Yep, and that's it. So Lehman closed their last full timeout. It's down to the home stretch. Lehman needs a couple of buckets. They're down 13, 3:01 to go on CUNYathletics.com.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
And let's give our cheerleaders a great big round of applause.
Back here at Nat Holman Gymnasium, there you see the Lehman bench hoping for a miracle. Brenz will throw it in. We'll give it to Miller, catch and shoot 3, hits nothing. As Greenfield tries to throw it off the legs of Jambalik, it found its way into the hands of Minot, but then skips out of bounds. So 2:54 to go. If the score stays the same, this would be the first doubleheader championship matchup in CUNYAC basketball history. Of course, the 36-year history for the women. Half a century for the men. 2:30 to go. Here's Jambala, guarded by Miller. They lock eyes, and we'll get a hand check foul on Sean Miller. So for Miller, that's going to be his second, the team's 5th. And Jai Kelman to inbound. Kelman calling for somebody to inbound it to. He's guarded heavily by Greenfield, so he'll throw it into the backcourt. Here's Gist. To Jambala. Back to Gist. And he'll shovel it back to Jambala. Brooklyn can afford to slow it down with 15 to shoot. Here's Kelman. He'll give it over to Jambala. To Gist for 3. Off the mark. Eggs on Jambala. Commits the dagger. It's a 15-point lead for Brooklyn. Here's Miller trying to answer back, and Jambala comes in to block it from behind. Jambala now with 21, and we'll let the crowd take it away. This is the sense in the gym. Greenfield gets the roll. Kelman will throw it in to Jumbalik, who gets bumped from behind. 90 seconds to go. Jambala gets whacked at from behind from Miller. Lehman needs a steal. They'll throw it around a lot. And Gist will get fouled. And that'll put Lehman at the limit.
That's his third. Team 6.
Brooklyn with the win would improve to 22-5. Here's Jai Kelman. His pass gets intercepted. Gist. And it'll be an offensive. Nope, it'll be a regular foul, common foul. And it'll be John Brenz.
Foul charge number 12, John Brenz is second.
That's Brenz's second, the team's 7th.
Just will go to the line.
And Gist to shoot 2. He makes the first one, and Brooklyn will just throw everyone in the backcourt. They're starting to sense it. This was a team that for 2 straight years had 12 and 14 marks overall. Last year, 8-8 in the conference, 9-7 the year before that. They lost in the quarterfinals to Hunter last year and the semis to CSI the year before, as Jonathan Greenfield puts it in. But they'll get a chance to bite the apple on the 50th anniversary. And Jambala is fouled on the floor.
Foul charge number 44, Jerome Jones. That's his 4th.
So for Jones, that's going to be his 4th, the team's 8th. And for Lehman, you'd have to imagine they're going to be back and better than ever next year should everyone stay eligible, as Jambala makes the first one. Sean Miller will be a senior. Jerome Jones will be a senior. Orlando Minot will be a senior. John Brenz will be a sophomore. They'll lose Jonathan Greenfield. But nonetheless, that's a powerful team next year for Lehman, and they've got nothing to hang their heads about. They're going to have a good team next year. Brooklyn, of course, playing for now. But even Brooklyn, they've got a couple of good players too, and they'll be back next year. Jambala, Kelman's a senior. Jamel Gist is a junior. Lorenzo Williams is a junior. And we'll just play out the string here. And boy, this atmosphere on Friday night will be electric. Shot clock goes off. Kelman will throw it ahead as Jambala gets fouled. Here's Greenfield for 3. That'll slow it down as Sean Miller assesses the foul. With 20.2. And Miller should have fouled out. Brooklyn looking for some final substitutes as Exxon Jambala goes to the bench, and he's been whacked around. Inez Nikovic, Dennis Balsam, and Nicholas Grasso will check in for Brooklyn.
Returning is number 32, Denise Nikovic. Williams at the line.
Crowd starting to file out. Those are the Lehman fans. So game 1 between the women, Baruch and Brooklyn, will be at 6 o'clock on ESPN3. And game 2 between Brooklyn and Baruch will be at 8:30.
Nicholas Grasso returns for Brooklyn.
Greenfield will fire a 3. That'll make it a 9-point game. Lehman still not calling off the Dogs. Here's Kelman into the front court, and he gets fouled.
That's his third.
So that foul's going to go to Orlando Minot. The free throw's off the mark.
Mason returns for Brooklyn.
Try to grab Williams, too. Just Williams and Coach. Okay. And Kelman makes the free throw. And Diaz will come in for Kelman. And boy, this Brooklyn team's a fun team to watch. This is going to be a great doubleheader between Baruch and Brooklyn on both sides. Both teams with a lot of experience. Both teams fulfilling their potential, and that'll do it. Brooklyn is on to the finals.
That's the ball game, the final score. The Lehman College Bulldogs 80, the Lehman College Lightning 70. Championship Friday is set. Brooklyn will meet Baruch on the men's side, and on the women's side, Brooklyn will meet Baruch. The women will tip off at 6. The men will tip off at 8:30. Here are your totals of the game. For the Lightning, they shot 6 of 11 from the line. Number 45, Sean Miller had 13 points. Number 44, Jerome Jones, 14. And number 32, Jonathan Greenfield, the game high at 27 points. For the Bulldogs, they shot 10 of 19 from the line, the top scorers tonight. Number 4, Zabata had 16 points. Number 12, Lorenzo Williams had 21. And number 23. And the athletic department at CCNY. Ladies and gentlemen, please drive carefully.
Hey, Coach. How's it going? John Perez spoke the other day. Yeah. How's it going? That was an easy one, right? Oh, my God. Wow. I'm glad you got the memo. Yes. Yeah, they sent it out. My daughter gave me my birthday last year. And she said you got to wear it. She's got good style. All right, we good, Paul? All right, so we're going to be looking up there, and there you go. Okay. And I want to say it right. All right, good. Game? No, I fooled you. Okay, guys. Ready? Yep. All right, Rich.
I was just hoping I'd have a stat sheet.
All right, we're back here for the post-game. It'll be Baruch and Brooklyn, not once but twice on Friday evening, and the men's taking care of business. I'm beside Rich McAuliffe, the head coach of Brooklyn, and you guys early on were not getting anything to fall, and Lehman was. What did you tell your guys to make the adjustments? Because you did cut the deficit going into the half, and then eventually you took it over for good.
I think they broke out to a 14-point lead early in that first half, and we kind of just settled. Let's group together. I said, we'll get them back one basket at a time. You know, we're not running our stuff.
We're not getting back on defense in transition, and that was one of the things we were worried about with Lehman, because the last time they played us, they scored 27 points in transition. So they were doing that early, and we kind of stopped that, and we kind of stopped siding them and played them front. So we were doing a better job defensively.
Now, obviously, Lorenzo Williams had a bunch of points, too. Even Valon, too. It was just a total team effort, too. But how about Lorenzo and Exxon? Just what they've contributed to the game.
Wow, I mean, Lorenzo just took over. I mean, he's just that type of player. He creates space for himself. It's a joy to watch. It's like, just give him the ball and move, we cleared out a lot of things. We ran a few things for him to isolate him. We saw that there was a little weakness, so we tried to take advantage of it, and I thought it worked.
Coach, year one, this was pretty easy, huh?
Oh, my goodness. If the finals anything like this, they're going to have to get a resuscitator.
All right, well, they will get the resuscitator. That's Rich McAuliffe. His team's headed to the finals. Thanks for watching tonight. Brooklyn and Baruch on Friday evening.